Welcome to Monday. This is Monday the 24th. Yeah. Yay. Mondays suck. I'm not a Monday suck kind of guy. Actually, I don't mind Mondays. Mondays are Mondays, man. It's just, the next day. People put too much grief on it being a Monday. That's kind of how I feel about it. I think generally speaking, Mondays are fine. They're just another day. Got to go do my stuff. Oh, I hope you guys had a great weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. Did a little basketball, got some stuff done around the house, getting ready to start a new video that I'm going to work on and release as I move through. So, kind of to give you backstory on it, when I was originally looking at setting up this, my live streams and my podcast or whatever, one of the things I wanted to do is, it's just like, hey, let's talk about stuff, and while I'm talking about stuff, I'll work on a small little fix it item just for something for me to keep my hands busy or something while, something to focus on. And then I could just kind of talk stream of consciousness type stuff as I worked on my little device or, trinket or whatever it might be that I was working on at the moment. And one of the first things I was going to do, so that was one of my ideas for some content. And when I was, formulating these ideas, my son gave me a Christmas present. This was like 2 years ago. And he gave me a Christmas present, and it still exists. It's a pocket knife that that you get, and then you put it together yourself. You handcraft the handle and, do all kinds of, shows you, it's got an instruction book, shows you how to do it all yourself. It's really a cool little gift, right? And so when I got it, I was like, dude, this is going to be one of my projects that I work on my podcast, on my live stream, on my YouTube channel. And then I set it down, set it to the side so I could get back to it when it was time to do the show. And then I never started the show up. And so then the whole knife just kind of sat over there and collected dust and didn't get made. So I was, working on my space the other day, and I found it, and I'm like, well, shit, I got to do this. So it's all back here. It's all back there. All of the tools and the pieces and little screws and everything else you need to put the knife together, sharpen it, all that good stuff. I'm excited to doing it, honestly. Really am. It was a really cool gift, and I'm excited to get back to work on it. So anyways, I'll be putting those videos together over the next few weeks, and I'll release them. That I'm not going to do like the whole thing in one video. It'll be more like release a video once a week, and I don't know. We'll see. Depends on how much work I can put on into doing the video production. We'll see how that goes. So anyways, I was looking for interesting travel stuff today. Oh, by the way, I probably should have announced this at the very beginning. I'm getting better at it. I'm at least remembering to do it during the show. Not necessarily remembering to do it at the top of the show like I should be, but hey, one step at a time. So, this is Middays, Midlife in the Midwest. I'm your host, Eric Tiemann. We are brought to you by Living Life in Style. That is a travel agency. They are able to help you with all of your travel needs, whether it be business or leisure. They can help you both ways. Cruises, flights, hotels, all inclusives, the whole 9 yards. whatever it is you need in travel, they can help you with it. You can reach Living Life in Style at 816-744-1405. You can also find them on the web. That's that's at www.livinlifeinstyle.com. That's spelled LIVINLIFENSTYLE.com. What else? What else did I have? I think that might have been it. Is that all of it? Yeah, we'll go with that for now. Oh, yeah, you can email Eric at livinlifeinstyle.com. So there's that too. All right, so let's get into it. What do we got today? Well, I saw an article in the Rob Report, thanks to my uncle. Put me on to the Rob Report, reminding me it was a thing. It has this article about the White Lotus season 3 was set at this luxury villa in Thailand. So I don't even know what Lotus season 3 is. I've not watched Lotus. I don't have Max, so I haven't watched it. So in the meantime, I was like, well, we should probably at least like figure out what this is, right? Sorry about that. So I was like, all right, well, let's see what this is. So I went and found the trailer because I don't know anything about this show, right? So
I am in the entertainment business.
Oh.
Here working on a project, actually. You used to be an actress. So sexy.
The FBI's obtained a warrant and they're at your office.
Take one of these.
Not my thing.
They're not addictive.
Thanks.
I love you.
You are an attractive woman. Make a move.
I made a lot of mistakes. I've done a lot of bad things. And I can't get my life back.
Are we ever gonna have fun again?
Hi. Do I know you?
well, there you go. So apparently that is the White Lotus and the preview for season 3. I still have no idea what it's about. But people seem to like it. So anyway, I saw this and I was like, it made me think, this article, it was at this luxury villa in Thailand. Well, I mean, haven't there always been like lots of places that we've seen in movies and you're kind of like, is that place real? Where is that place actually located? How much does it cost to stay in a place like that? Well, I can't answer that for all of the places you might have seen in a movie or a television show. But since this one was right here in front of me, I was like, well, let's look into this and see what this is all about. So here we are. Forget the Four Seasons. Look at that place, man. Look at that place. Oh, hold on. I need to probably zoom this window in like I have all the other ones. Hold on. There we go. Look at that place. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that infinity pool. Like for real. That is awesome. I mean, there's another infinity pool up there. Man, that place looks posh. So this article from Abby Montanez on the Rob Report. You can stay at the Lux Villa Jacinta in Koh Samui. I don't know if that's how you say it. Once again, I don't know how you say these places. I'm from Missouri. Leave me alone. For approximately $1,995 a night. $2,000 a night. Whatever. So forget the Four Seasons. The White Lotus filmed scenes for season 3 at this tropical vacation rental in Thailand. Located in Koh Samui, I don't know, whatever. One of the confirmed locations for the upcoming installment, private luxury rental brand One Fine Stay and Airbnb just listed a new property known as Villa Jacinta. That was used in the series. Nestled within the swanky Samujana resort development in the Chongmon area. Man, they're doing me right this time. The contemporary home is available starting at a hefty $19.95 per night. But keep in mind, it comes with all the makings of a 5-star hotel and an unexpected TV pedigree. Seeming to spring from the hillside, Villa Jacinta is a flawless example of sophisticated design. The villa's sleek beauty and fabulous amenities are complemented by dazzling ocean views everywhere you turn. It's little wonder Villa Jacinta was used as the setting for White Lotus Season 3, the brand wrote on its website. Holy crap, man. Look at that place. Like, wow. That's amazing. It's like, it says nestled into the hillside. Dude, that is on top of the hillside, peeps. That is on top of the hillside. Oh, my. Interiors of the Cubist style abode are imbued in natural light, tons of bright whites, soft grays, and rich creams, reminiscent of a mansion in the Hollywood Hills. Altogether, the stately pad. My dad was calling me in the middle of the show. You can tell he's paying attention. Altogether, the stately pad can sleep up to 8 guests comfortably with 4 ensuite king bedrooms, each equipped with sliding glass doors with Gulf of Thailand views from every angle, and 3 with their own private balconies. Elsewhere, you'll find an open-air living room with a sunken seating area, a dining room, and 2 state-of-the-art chef's kitchens. In terms of amenities, the place is decked out with a medium room and gym. With a media room, not a medium room. I mean, I guess it could be a medium room if it was only one media, because media is plural for medium. Anyway, never mind. That being said, Villa Jacinta is best enjoyed outside, whether you want to chill on the rooftop terrace or hang by the infinity pool overlooking the glistening sea, which is perfect for swimming laps, by the way. No, yeah, which is perfect for swimming laps, by the way. I didn't totally read through this the first time. I kind of skimmed it, so I'm missing some of the proper accents. Whatever. During the stay, guests will have a dedicated concierge team on hand 24/7 to help with everything from booking airport transfers to restaurant reservations. That's nice. Your own personal butlers, basically 24/7. There's also a manager on site, housekeeping, and security, just in case any troubles arise in paradise. I mean, look at that. Just like a giant glass wall to your bedroom. As long as there's no neighbors over here, that's okay. That is amazing. Season 3 of The White Lotus is set to premiere on February 16th, which apparently already did. I've not heard that it didn't happen. So on HBO and streaming on Max, the critically acclaimed anthology from creator Mike White will focus on a new crop of guests checking into a new White Lotus resort in Southeast Asia, touching on themes such as spirituality and death. All right, there you go. Thank you, Abby Montanez, staff writer at The Rob Report. Interesting. There you go. $2,000. $2,000, and you can stay at that luxury villa. I don't know that I think it's worth it. That's $2,000 per night, by the way, people. $2,000 per night, not just $2,000, like per night. So, like, if you stay 10 nights, that's $20,000. That's how the math works on that. But man, that place was. Yeah, I mean, like, let's look at that. I mean, that place is awesome. Look at that. Oh, hold on. I got to actually show it to you. Look at that. I mean, seriously, that is. I mean, really? Huh. It's freaking beautiful. Anyway. All right. Travel insurance. As a travel advisor, I very much recommend people, especially when they're traveling out of the country. If you're traveling into the country, you can probably, whatever. Or at least more whatever than if you're traveling out of the country. But if you're traveling out of the country, And especially if you're like, booking a large package sort of deal of, sort of travel, whether it's a tour or a cruise or what, a rail tour, whatever it might be. If you're paying for a big package deal, I highly recommend travel protection, just to protect your financial investment for your trip. Bum, 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 bum. So, islands.com always coming through with some good information. Sarah Paris putting out this article today, this morning, 12 surprising things your travel insurance probably doesn't cover. Now, let's get into it, and I'll just kind of make my comments as we move along here. The one thing you got to know about insurance is just a contract. So anything that's not in there technically can be written. That doesn't mean the insurance agency will write it in there, but technically it can be written in there. Technically, just to clarify, but it doesn't mean they will. So Sarah writes, when gallivanting around the world these days, purchasing travel insurance is arguably a must. In general, insured persons can submit claims for travel delays and trip cancellations or interruptions so that their vacation is not completely ruined if something goes wrong. With trip insurance in tow, travelers can also be reimbursed for various expenses and specific lost or stolen personal effects. Moreover, opting for a comprehensive plan means medical care and other unexpected costs are likely to be covered as well. And it's one thing you must do before traveling. Of course, not all insurance plans are the same, as some offer more limited coverage than others. And that's what you really want to be worried about, is figuring out what things are limited and what things aren't limited. That way you know what you're paying for. That's the most important thing. Doing your research ahead of time when it comes to choosing a prospective insurance policy is very much a part of the vacation planning process. However, even after selecting the right travel insurance for your needs, it is still in your best interest to read the fine print. Yet many people simply do not take the time to thoroughly read their insurance policies before embarking on their upcoming vacation or adventure. But it is important to know what you can actually submit a claim for, as only certain incidents tend to be covered. And more often than not, there is a long list of common exclusions travelers need to be mindful of. So, to help with those lists, here are 12 surprising things your travel insurance probably doesn't cover. All right, natural disasters. Travel insurance is usually for covering the unexpected, and when it comes to natural disasters, things tend to get a little bit tricky. For coverage purposes, a natural disaster is often defined as an unavoidable event of severe weather that impacts one's ability to travel or causes grave damage to the surrounding destination. Typically, wildfires, tropical storms, blizzards, lightning strikes, and more fall under this category. Policies vary, of course, yet expected natural disasters that have extensive news coverage or are classified as known or ongoing events are generally not covered under most travel insurance plans. Moreover, if your trip is temporarily interrupted due to less than favorable but not severe weather, then it is unlikely that you will be able to submit a claim. Natural disasters or extreme weather that are covered by your travel insurance policy, however. Natural disasters or extreme weather that are covered by your insurance policy, however, are still subject to timing and the overall circumstances. Oh, helps if you read the whole sentence. For instance, if a covered natural disaster only impacts a portion of your trip, then being reimbursed for the entire vacation is not likely. And if during or after a natural disaster, your accommodations are unaffected or remain habitable, and your flights are still on schedule, then coverage is often not applicable. It is also important to remember that acts of God, i.e., hail, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, and earthquakes, are not necessarily seen as the same thing as natural disasters and may not be covered by your particular travel insurance policy. Important to remember. Certain pre-existing conditions. Pre-existing conditions, or rather injuries or illness that require medical treatment and medication to manage ongoing symptoms, are typically not covered under travel insurance policies. This can be something as simple as having chronic asthma, but the good news is that the majority of travel insurance companies offer free exclusion waivers for pre-existing conditions. To have your pre-existing condition covered, however, there are certain caveats that you need to meet first. For instance, many insurance companies require that you are physically able to travel on the day of purchase and that you insure your entire trip. The time frame in which you buy your travel insurance is also a factor in getting your pre-existing condition covered, and there is often a cap on related expenses if approved. That said, there are still certain health conditions that you cannot fill out an exclusion waiver for regardless, and they commonly include mental health conditions, substance abuse conditions, cosmetic procedures, pregnancy, dementia, and Alzheimer's disease. So, in addition to finding an affordable travel insurance policy with the kind of coverage you are looking for, you need to find out if you can actually utilize said exclusion waiver if available for your particular health related issue. Adventure sports and dangerous activities. Yeah, they're not going to cover you for sleeping on the side of a mountain and falling out of your bed to your death. They're not going to cover you for that, folks. That's not going to be a thing. Adventure sports and dangerous hobbies are just two more things that standard travel insurance will not cover. So thrill seekers need to tread lightly when planning out their itinerary. Activities such as skydiving, mountain climbing, caving, extreme sports, and deep sea scuba diving without a professional dive master or without having a diving license are all things you cannot submit a claim for if you are injured. Any activity that involves a higher amount of risk is unlikely to be insured under most travel insurance policies. In fact, more insurance companies are adding common leisure activities to their exclusion list. As a result, everything from snorkeling and sea kayaking to certain forms of camping and skiing are being excluded from coverage. Of course, one of the best ways to experience a destination is to get out there and enjoy the culture, cuisine, and often limitless opportunities for excitement and adventure, especially if you're trying to plan a successful vacation. Yet, if you are looking at standard or bare minimum trip insurance policies, then coverage may not extend to potentially dangerous excursions and outings. So, if you are a fan of adventure sports or just want to live life to the fullest while on vacation, then you will need to look explicitly for travel insurance that allows for such merriment. Specific destinations. Certain travel hotspots around the world are categorized as too remote to be safe or too high risk to vacation in. A destination is often considered to be high risk due to political reasons, increased crime, armed conflict, or frequent natural disasters. Not having access to adequate emergency and medical services, on the other hand, is generally the basis for why remote places are not covered. Overall, there are plenty of reasons why visiting a particular location may mean foregoing standard trip insurance. Before selecting your travel insurance, before before selecting your travel insurance, then it is highly recommended that eager wanderers do their research and pay attention to government travel advisories. It is also worth noting that ongoing travel advisories can impact other aspects of your travel insurance, from medical benefits to trip cancellation coverage. So, even if one of the most dangerous destinations is currently deemed safe or has a lower level travel advisory when booking, you still need to look at your selected policy to see what is and is not covered if things change closer to or after your departure date. What's more, areas within a specific location can be high risk or deemed remote too. And if your itinerary takes you somewhere dangerous, your coverage may become non existent in any case. If you are off to places that have the potential to be seriously unsafe, regardless, then it is time to start looking at high risk travel insurance instead. Medical treatment abroad. This is one of the most important reasons to have travel insurance, in my opinion, especially when you're traveling abroad, because your American health insurance is not going to help you. And so you need to make sure. that you are getting the medical treatment coverage that you want to have in your travel insurance policy. Okay. Like the coverage for cancellations and the coverage for inconveniences like losing your luggage or flight delays or things like that. Those coverages are nice. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy to have those benefits when I have my travel insurance. But I get travel insurance for the big things, right? I had a friend of mine before I was a travel agent, or right as I became a travel agent. He was on vacation in Mexico, and a close family friend or family member had a severe medical injury, a medical issue right in the middle of their trip. I mean, it was devastating, and the person ended up being in the hospital in Mexico for over a week. But had they not, I didn't sell them the trip, so I don't know even if they had travel insurance. But I know two things. One, that was really expensive, and two, if they didn't have medical coverage in their travel insurance, that was all coming out of their pocket, and I guarantee you were getting close to $100,000 when they medically flew her back to the States. So that's why I think, especially if you're traveling out of the country, there are places there are destinations where they will not even let you into the hospital. They'll let you bleed out on the sidewalk if you do not have means to pay going in. And travel insurance can help you with that. So, but it's got to be the right travel insurance. So, medical treatment abroad. While standard and basic travel insurance covers health emergencies overseas and internationally, if you become ill or injured while traveling for business or pleasure, there are still clear restrictions here. Not only is the coverage provided by travel insurance minimal in such instances, but it also only covers tourists with medical emergencies and expenses related to said emergency. So hospital stays and emergency-only medications or prescriptions are also covered under most plans. But if you need routine medical care or a checkup, non-emergency prescription drugs, or long-term treatment, then you should not expect your policy to help with any of those costs. What's more, wellness benefits are not covered by most travel insurance policies either. Wellness benefits are services and programs that improve one's well-being and health, which may come in handy during extended periods of travel outside of your home country. Preventative care and mental health support, for example, are considered wellness benefits and therefore are not seen as emergency medical treatment. Travelers looking for such coverage then will likely have to look into more comprehensive travel medical insurance or check out supplemental and short-term health policies where available. Disease or a health outbreak. So when it comes to diseases and health outbreaks, your travel insurance will not cover a pandemic or epidemic commonly. Much like a natural disaster, if a known outbreak or disease is prevalent in a particular destination and you book your trip regardless, then filing a claim in the event of sickness is not going to be permitted. It's not how that works. It's not how insurance works. Insurance is an exchange between two parties. One party is accepting risk and the other party is giving money. And you are selling risk for money. That's basically what you do. Here, buy my risk. And you give him money and he takes your money and you give him your risk. That's how that works. And so if you go, even though you know in advance that it's a dangerous illness in the area, yeah, they're not going to take your money. They're going to be like, no, we're not going to insure that. Similarly, if you decide to cancel your vacation before your departure date because of a known virus or widespread illness, being reimbursed for various trip-related expenses under your policy is not allowed. Travel advisories also come into play here. So if there is a CDC-issued warning or high-level alert that has been in place for more than 60 days before your planned vacation or business trip, then treatment for said disease or outbreak will not be covered either. However, if the CDC travel advisory is issued after your arrival, then most insurance policies allow coverage for a set number of days, usually around 10. It is also important to note that though most travel insurance providers make general announcements about how your policy will be affected when a CDC warning is issued, still not all companies do. Thus, You need to do your due diligence when diseases or health outbreaks strike and go through your policy to be better informed about your exact coverage. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. All right. Certain lost or stolen items. From luggage to important travel documents, trip insurance offers coverage in most instances for lost or stolen personal items. However, there are notable limitations. A prime example is if the airline or some other type of transportation service is the reason for your lost baggage, then it is their responsibility to reimburse you generally. That said, your policy will kick in when your luggage or personal property is taken from your accommodations, but expensive belongings that are taken from your hotel room, like jewelry and other pricey things, are typically only covered up to a specific dollar amount. Also, shockingly, your travel insurance will not cover certain lost or stolen items that are left unattended or unsupervised. Thus, if you accidentally leave your bag behind somewhere, leave it with the hotel concierge or with a stranger, your policy will not reimburse you for replacing any lost or stolen goods under these circumstances. Similarly, if you walk away from your personal belongings to enjoy a refreshing dip in the ocean or to go for a swim in the hotel pool, misplaced or taken items in this situation are not covered by your travel insurance either. The same is true for items left out on display in rented vehicles and for stuff lost or stolen when you are intoxicated. No dice if you're drunk and you get your stuff taken. No dice. Only when you're sober. So, as most policies view this as you not acting responsibly with your said belongings. Yeah, that's probably accurate. Not real. Not real responsible there. Yeah. You gotta have to be responsible for your stuff. Canceled activities. While on vacation, your travel insurance coverage often excludes canceled or missed activities and excursions. So if you're booking, oh, I read that wrong. Imagine that. So if your booked outing is no longer happening due to bad weather, a missing tour guide, road closures, or because of some other minor inconvenience, you should not expect your travel insurance to cover the cost. As a general rule of thumb, travel insurance providers tend to stay out of agreements made between travelers and tour companies, making it usually your responsibility to reach out to the booking or service company directly for a refund for canceled activities. Of course, if you are postponing or rethinking your getaway for a covered reason, then your policy will likely reimburse you for your excursions since they are seen as part of the overall trip cost. It is worth noting, however, that entertainment, tours, and bookings must be prepaid, non-refundable, and meet the other stated requirements under your specific policy to be included. Likewise, if your trip is interrupted for a covered reason, then filing a claim for prepaid non-refundable activities that you are unable to participate in may be permitted under your policy as well, but it is crucial that you double check to see what limitations apply. Non-emergency dental procedures. Non-emergency dental procedures are also not generally covered by travel insurance. With trip insurance, policyholders have what is known as an emergency dental benefit, which will cover care and services that are necessary due to an injury, infection, broken tooth, or some other kind of immediate dental crisis. However, routine dental care such as cleanings, oral exams, filings, teeth whitening, and root canals are excluded from coverage, even under the most comprehensive of plans. Getting cosmetic dental work done when traveling to other countries, often referred to as dental tourism, is also not covered. In fact, even necessary dental procedures that tend to cost significantly less outside of the U.S. are still seen as dental tourism if you forego taking care of your problem back in your home country to save money. Other travel insurance exclusions when it comes to one's overall health include almost any elective health procedure and routine care that does not fall under your policy's definition of an emergency. Travel insurance is for emergencies. That's really what it boils down to. Trip cancellation. Now, this is an important one. You've really got to read the details on as to how the trip cancellation coverage works on your policy. Okay. One of the touted perks of travel insurance is trip cancellation. But what many people do not realize is that being able to cancel your vacation and receive a full refund for all prepaid, non-refundable trip-related expenses is not as straightforward guarantee. Covered reasons that allow for full reimbursement are very limited and require the appropriate paperwork. So, if you attempt to postpone your trip due to a sickness or illness without going to the doctor first, you are in for a rude awakening. Travelers can also hurt their chances of getting a refund if they do not provide all pertinent travel receipts, the necessary documentation, or a detailed explanation as requested. What's more, if you do not take the time to go over all of the terms and conditions of your policy, you may believe you cannot. You may believe you can reschedule or opt out of your getaway for any reason when that is simply not the case. Even lengthy delays and obvious trip interruptions do not automatically entitle you to reimbursement under your policy, as many plans exclude travel setbacks or disruptions that do not surpass the 24-hour mark consecutively. These are just a few reasons why knowing the ins and outs of your travel insurance is so important before selecting coverage. Pregnancy or foreseeable complications. Though pregnancy, in the broad sense of the word, is covered by travel insurance, there are more than a few instances where coverage simply does not apply. From normal pregnancy-related expenses to avoiding travel due to late-term pregnancy, trip insurance is known to have limitations when a person is expecting. So if you spent most of your vacation in bed due to morning sickness, a normal issue during pregnancy, do not expect your plan to help with the cost of anti-nausea medication, trip interruption, or any missed outings. Furthermore, any routine treatment, pregnancy-related care, normal labor, or travel against medical advice is not covered under most policies. Surprisingly, being pregnant without any noted or unexpected complications is also not seen as a standard covered reason for trip cancellation. Therefore, if you are pregnant or are likely to become pregnant in the future, then you should definitely take a look at a comprehensive travel medical coverage as well as travel insurance that allows you to cancel for any reason. There are policies that will allow you to cancel for any reason. Reasonably foreseeable events. By now, it is clear that travel insurance is mainly for sudden emergencies and the unexpected. But what makes an event unexpected and thus excluded from what makes an event expected and thus excluded from coverage? Well, the answer may just surprise you. For insurance purposes, any happening or occurrence that could be anticipated by a reasonable person in a similar situation is considered to be foreseeable. Thus, a named weather system en route to your intended destination during hurricane season, airline strikes during widespread economic hardship, or a high-level travel alert being issued before booking your trip to a destination with frequent civil unrest are all reasonably predictable. Even booking your vacation with the knowledge that you may need to cancel in the future due to a specific reason equals foreseeable. See the section above about, pregnancy, foreseeable, right? So it is in your best interest to think long and hard about where you are off to go over what is and is not covered by your selected policy, and to determine ahead of time what could negatively impact your trip insurance coverage before and amidst your travels. This is one of the top travel tips worth keeping in mind. Fiend, right? No, look, like for real, it is for emergencies. And if it's something that you could be construed as predictable, they're not going to cover it. That's just, they're insurance companies. I don't hate insurance companies. I don't love insurance companies. But insurance companies are not in the business of giving money away. That's not how it works. And they will fight tooth and nail to make sure that they don't pay out any extra money that they don't have to. It comes across as very cold and calculating. But at the end of the day, that's their business. That's what they get paid to do. Apparently somebody sent me a message on Facebook. Anyway, so there you have it. Now you know how you can stay at the same place that was on The White Lotus season 3 for just under $2,000 a night. But that place was amazing, like really amazing. And now you also have a little bit more information about travel insurance. It is very important for travel insurance, especially when traveling internationally. But you definitely need to know what you're buying. I don't know what, my eyes are watering, my nose is stuffy. Spring must be on the way or something. I don't even have allergies. Anyway, but point being, travel insurance is very important. It is very important. Travel protection is very important. You need to make sure that you have it, especially if you're traveling out of the country, but you need to make sure you understand what you are buying. Okay. You got to make sure. You should get a declarations page. You should even look over that stuff before you actually make the purchase. Living Life in Style, that's who sponsors the show. They provide Allianz travel insurance, which is a very comprehensive. They have many different levels of insurance, so you can check out all of the different policies that are available to you to find one that fits your needs and is the price you need. You can reach Living Life in Style at their phone number, 816-744-1405. That's 816-744-1405. You can also reach them on the web at www.livinglifeinstyle.com. You can email Eric at livinglifeinstyle.com as well if you have any questions. They can even put you in touch with the people at Allianz so you can speak directly to the insurance agent to get all of your questions answered. So there you have it, folks. Travel insurance. If you're going to be traveling, you definitely need to be thinking about the possibility of having travel insurance, travel protection, whether it's with Living Life in Style or any other travel agent. Don't sleep on the travel insurance. All right, folks. That does it for me today. We're gonna wrap this up. I hope you have a great week. I hope you're having a good Monday, and we're kicking off a great week. I will be back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. with who knows what else. I'm working on doing a better job of planning my stuff out in advance, so I'll be able to do a little better job of leading into the next thing, and doing a few more, some other content stuff that a little more produced content stuff, so that I can put that out there on the web as well. Get that up as well. And I am still working on the idea of changing platforms on which one on where I stream live. So I will most certainly stay on YouTube, but I may be adding Rumble. I may be taking Facebook away. I may also be adding LinkedIn or X. We'll see. In the meantime, I will keep you all posted of how that goes. You can always find me at livinglifeinstyle.com or you can find them also at facebook.com/livinglifeinstyle. Hit the bell, subscribe, like the page, share with your friends, do all those YouTube things so we can get more viewers on this program. And and I'm starting to cobble together a list of guests. So I'll start having more guests talk about more things than just travel really soon. All right, guys. Appreciate you watching. Have a great afternoon. Have a great day. And we will see you tomorrow.